Hello everybody, this is quixQuery here, and today we are back to play some more Hermit Pack, and we are going over some amendments to my previous video on what the best way is to process each and every ore in the pack, just to kind of help you get, the most bang for your buck when it comes to your ores. And so, while most of the ores have been the same, some other ores have been added to the pack, such as the Immersive Engineering ores and the Graphite, industrial-grade Graphite ore from Quantum Flux, and we are going to go over the best way to process each and every one of those. To start off, we are going to go over the amendments to my previous video, and that has to start with these nether cyclic ores and end cyclic ores. And I was saying that the best way to get the most out of them was to use a Fortune 3 pickaxe. And while Fortune 3 will get you quite a bit as far as these things go, the real best way is to use a Fortune 5 candy cane. And that is an item in the Hermit Pack specifically, from the mod Hermit Quest, and it can be obtained by defeating the zombie Cleo boss, and it has Fortune 5 on it, and so that is by far a better way of getting the most from these ores than Fortune 3 is. However, this nether gold ore is kind of an odd one out in comparison to the rest of them, because the best way to process it is not with Fortune 5, while you will get close with Fortune 5 to the best way. It is to stick it in a Tinker's Construct smeltery, which will yield 1 ingot per ore. So you may think, well, does Fortune 5 affect any other ores? Well, yes, actually it does. While Redstone and Quartz are the same way as they used to be, and the best way to process them is in a mechanism enrichment chamber where you get 12 redstone or 6 nether quartz per ore. The best way to process Lapis, however, is by using a Fortune 5 candy cane. This is industrial grade graphite ore from the Quantum Flux mod. It gives you graphite dust, which can be used to create hyper diamonds by putting graphite dust into an explosion. The best way to process graphite, this ore, is to use Fortune 5 on it. The best way to process the new Immersive Engineering copper ore is by putting it in your mechanism tier 5 setup that will yield 5 ingots per ore. Best way to process the new Bauxite ore from Immersive Engineering, which, by the way, actually is an aluminum ore more than it is just a regular Bauxite ore, is to put it in a Tinker's Construct smeltery, which will yield 3 ingots per ore. Best way to process Immersive Engineering lead ore, well, it's the same way as processing the old lead ore, and that is by putting it in your mechanism massive setup back here, top tier mechanism setup, which will yield 5 ingots per ore. Best way to process Immersive Engineering silver ore? Well, put it in your mechanism setup. That's the best way. The best way to process Immersive Engineering nickel ore, which is used to create Imbar, the best way to process it and get the most nickel out of each ore is to put it in a Tinker's Construct smeltery, which will yield 3 ingots worth of nickel. And the best way to process Immersive Engineering uranium ore is by putting it in a Tinker's Construct smeltery, which will yield 3 uranium ingots from the Immersive Engineering mod. However, if you are into industrial craft too, and that sort of thing, you can use this uranium ore to give you the same uranium ingots that are used in industrial craft. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode about the best way to process each and every ore in the pack, and I really enjoy doing these videos because it's fun doing all the research, figuring out how this stuff works, and so if you want to show your support, please be sure to leave a like if you found it helpful, or like the video, or anything. But I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.